Good morning, everyone. This is Atulya Virasat, a special quiz on Indian heritage brought to you by TackOn and Quriosity in association with INTACH Hyderabad. I'm your quizmaster Meghvi Manjunath, and today I have with me quizmaster Vishnu, who will quickly run us through the rules. Over to you, Vishnu.
Good morning and welcome to Atulya Virasat. Let's quickly jump to the rules of the quiz. First, please make sure all the participants log on to www.tackon.org/AVI. You can see the link on the screen. The link is also in the description of this video. Everyone, please make sure you're on this page. So once you're on this page, you can find the answer sheet to the left of this video if you're using a laptop or a desktop, or if you're using a mobile device, you can see the answer sheet for the quiz under this video. Just under this video, just scroll down, you can see the answer sheet. Next, make sure you enter your email ID and name exactly as you entered while you're registering for this quiz. Your answers will be invalid if you enter a wrong name or wrong email ID, which does not match with our database. Next, click next after every question to enter your answer for the subsequent questions. So after you enter the answer for question number 1, you need to click on the button just under it, that is next. Then you'll go to the question number 2. Then you'll go to the blank where you can enter the answer number 2. So keep on clicking next after every question to go to the next question. And all the questions will be played on the video. We'll be showing all the questions on the video. Just look at the questions and hear us carefully. Also try to use earphones so that you can hear our voice clearly and you can catch the hints from there. And each question will be on the screen for a minimum of 40 seconds to 1 minute based on the length and difficulty of the question. So you have enough time to think but not to Google, so please try and avoid Googling. The questions will not be repeated, will not go back in the questions, but however, you can rewind the video and replay any question if you think you missed any question. And all the answers should be submitted within the 60 seconds after the end of last question. At the end of last question, we'll say that the time starts now. Within 60 seconds after that, you need to submit the answers, all the answers. So after submitting the answers, you will be seeing this screen. As you see on the screen, you will be seeing this, that your answers have been successfully submitted. Make sure you get this message. Otherwise, your answers are not submitted. Please make sure you get this message. And please do not refresh this page. If you refresh this page, you need to enter all the answers you already entered. All the answers will be disappeared. So you need to enter all the answers again. So please try not to refresh this page. And if you have a problem on your device which refreshes on itself, please use a different device which does not have this problem. And only the answers in English will be considered. Please do not answer in other languages. We can't evaluate them. And this is not a multiple choice quiz. You're supposed to type the answers in the answer sheet and do not give any extra explanations to any answer. Please enter only the required info without any special characters like question mark, exclamation, or a comma, or a full stop, etc. Last but not least, this is an easy quiz. Do not overthink, keep it simple. All the best. We hope everyone has entered their name and email address. We are ready to go for the question number 1. The first question is from the city of Pearls, Hyderabad. In the picture, you can see a face of a cat which can be found on one of the arches of Charminar. The question is, what does this cat metaphorically represent? Consider the origins of the Charminar and why was it constructed. You'll already have the answer with you. So this is a slightly explanatory answer, not a single word answer. We are looking for a 1 or 2 keywords. You can explain the answer in 2 to 4 words. A slightly explanatory answer, an easy one to start with. So that was question number 1. Moving on to question number 2.
So here is question number 2. Jonbil Mela is held annually at Assam. This is basically a century-old Mela that happens during the Harvest Festival, where a cluster of tribes from the neighboring regions come here to trade their indigenous products. But the transaction in this Mela cannot be taxed by the government due to a unique reason. And the question is, what is so unique about this Mela that makes it very hard for the government to tax it? So that was your second question. Moving on.
Question number 3. Byari is a Muslim community in the Malabar region of Karnataka and Kerala. The name Byari is believed to have either of these three origins which are listed below. The first one is believed to be from the word Malabari, and the second one is believed to be from the word Bahari, which means outsiders, due to their ancient relations with the Arab sailors. And third one is due to their profession. So the question here is, which Sanskrit word for their profession is said to be the root term for the word Byari? So simply think what could have been their profession and what is the Sanskrit word for their profession, from which is the root term for the word Byari. That was the question number 3. Moving on to question number 4.
Here is question number 4. A holy man was banished by the Sikh orthodoxy when he deliberately misinterpreted certain verses of Adi Grantha to please the Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. The emperor then granted land to this man to set up his camp for his sect of followers in a valley near Shivalik Hills. Which Indian state capital was thus established? Lot of hints in the question itself. It says camp for his sect of followers, and then it mentions the valley. So that pretty much sums up the etymology of this place as well. So which beautiful Indian state capital are we talking about? Moving on to the next question.
Question number 5. In this picture, you can see a view of a city taken from a hilltop. So we are talking about a hilltop, which is also known as Takhe Suleiman. That means the throne of Solomon. This was one of the favorite spots of Jahangir at Srinagar. So now the question is, how do we now popularly know this site named after a famous Hindu philosopher? So this philosopher is famous across all the 4 corners of India. Just give me the name of this hilltop. How do we popularly know it? A famous Indian philosopher, Hindu philosopher, you can say. Hindu philosopher, famous across all the 4 corners of India. That was question number 5. Question number 6.
Here is question number 6, and this is a question on natural heritage of India. If you've ever traveled to the northeast, you would know about this place called the Loktak Lake in Manipur, which is home to a peculiar type of islands called the Phumdis. These islands are slowly breaking apart and disappearing as a result of year-long high water levels in the lake. What is unique about the Phumdis, which is also a reason why the water levels are threatening their existence? This lake is home to the Cable Lamjao National Park, which is the only one of this kind in the entire world. So the peculiarity of these islands in the Loktak Lake makes them the only one of their kind in the entire world. So what is so unique about this? What type of islands are they? That's all you need to answer. Moving on to the next question.
Question number 7. This is a question on India's most famous heritage site, Taj Mahal. So in 2015, low-level security lights, basically the lights were installed at Taj Mahal to attract the tourists at night times and also to illuminate the monument at nights. However, this move was opposed by several heritage experts who pointed that lights will attract something and that will interfere with and damage the flawless marble and original color of the monument. What was the exact reason pointed out by the experts? What was the exact reason? They say the lights will spoil the monument, the color of the monument. How will lights spoil the color of the monument is the question. What was the reason given by them? That was question number 7. Moving on to question number 8.
Here is question number 8. What you see in picture is the board of a railway station, and this is the only railway station in the entire country to carry its name in a certain script. At which railway station in central India? This is something that is religiously very significant, both the place and the script. So at which railway station in India can you find its name written in this particular script? Go by the length of the name, that will also help. And I said central India, think of some major religious sites in this particular region of India. So that's your question number 8.
So this is question number 9. A Tamil work, Akkananuru, a Sangam literature, Sangam era poetic work, mentions the following. It mentions that in Chera's prosperous port town of Muiri, the Yavanas came with their ships bearing with gold and left with Yavanapriya. Here, in this line, Yavana means Roman traders. Which favorite item of Roman traders is referred to as Yavanapriya? They used to come to India with gold, a lot of gold, gems and diamonds, gems and silver, everything. They used to give it to us in exchange of something called Yavanapriya, which was their favorite. So, what was Roman traders' favorite item, which was known as Yavanapriya? That was question number 9. Moving on to question number 10.
Here is the 10th question. Originally a part of the slave tribe brought into Goa by the Portuguese, their ancestors escaped into the forest of a neighboring state and started living off the land there. So ever since they have been forest dwellers. Due to their strength, several kings recruited them in their armies. It is said that the Nawabs recruited them as military mercenaries way back in the 16th century. Later, the chieftains in Karnataka recruited them in their fight against the British. So their name is derived from the Arabic term Sayyid, meaning the master or a leader. Which ethnic tribe are we talking about? So we have defined the etymology there, how the word came to be. It comes from an Arabic term called Sayyid. So think of something that sounds very similar. Which ethnic tribe? It's also a generic term used for all the tribes of a certain origin in India. So what does this mean? Moving on to the next question.
Question number 11. Look at the picture. There's a picture on the screen. On which marvel of Indian heritage can we notice these inscriptions? So we've given a small excerpt from the inscription here, English translation of a Gupta script of the inscription here. So it says about a king who won Bengal, and a king who is named Chandragupta is as beautiful as a moon, and he's a devotee of Vishnu, and he installed something on a hill called Vishnupada. So at which marvel of Indian heritage, I'm stressing on marvel of Indian heritage, can you find this inscription? I'm not talking about a site, but a certain thing. That was question number 11. Moving on to question number 12.
Here is question number 12. In 1944, during the Second World War, a fierce battle was fought at the site between the invading Japanese forces and the British Army, which consisted of Indian, British, and African soldiers, in defense of the city of Kohima. Name the battle fought at this very site, which was voted as Britain's greatest battle, even beating some of the events like Waterloo and the Normandy landings. This was considered Britain's greatest battle. This is historically significant because this kind of marked the beginning of end of Imperial Japan's conquest in Asia. So name this battle. I think you have the answer in the image itself. Work it out, quite an easy one. A lesser known battle, but very significant. Name the battle. Time for the next question.
Question number 13. In 1850s, that was when railways were entering India. Burton brothers were two brothers working at Sindh Railways as engineers on a project to connect Karachi with Lahore through a railway track. So they faced a peculiar issue to provide a stable ground for the railway tracks. Railways need a stable ground to lay the tracks. They had an issue to provide such a stable ground. So, however, they found a free source of bricks in a nearby village and used many of those bricks. They almost used bricks for 97 miles of the railway track from this village. So which historic discovery did this act by Burton brothers lead to? Which historic discovery in India? That's the question number 13. Moving on to question number 14.
Here is question number 14. So we're talking about a certain food culture in the Indian subcontinent. A legend says that when Shah Jahan shifted his capital to Delhi, his physician told him that the Yamuna water was not drinkable. But this can be combated by the heavy intake of ghee and spices. So basically, when the weather is hot, you tend to eat a lot of spices. While the non-vegetarians had a proper source, like they went for spicy meat, but vegetarians had to accommodate it in some other way. Thus, a new food culture was born. Which food tradition is said to have thus started is the question. So that is question number 14. Think of something that is very unique to, not unique to, which is native to North India, popular across the Indian subcontinent, but yeah, with its origin in the northern part of India, especially Uttar Pradesh. So, what food tradition is the question? Next question.
Question number 15. Something from Dholpur in Rajasthan has been patronized by the kings at Delhi and surrounding cities, surrounding areas for several centuries. The last major usage of this thing from Dholpur was almost a century ago. It's not exactly a century, it's somewhere around 90 to 100 years. So, however, a recent development in the national capital of India has again spurred its demand. What is Dholpur famous for and why the spur in its demand? You have all the hints in the question and need not give any more hints. That was question number 15. Moving on to question number 16.
So here is question number 16. In picture is a very famous heritage site in the city of Gwalior, and there is a tamarind tree growing near this tomb in Gwalior. So there is this urban legend associated with the tree. They say it possesses some magical properties. So it is believed that the tree will bless any person who consumes its leaves with a beautiful voice. They'll be blessed with a beautiful voice, is the legend. The question is, whose tomb was this? A historically significant personality, and the belief is that, like, if you eat the leaves of this tree, you'll be blessed with a beautiful voice. So whose tomb this could be, possibly? Moving on to the next question.
Question number 17. In Sanskrit, Saranga means a deer. According to one of the Buddhist mythological stories, once a deer near Varanasi offered his life to a king who was on a hunt. He was hunting some other animal, but this deer offered his life to the king. The king was impressed by this act by the deer, and he decided to create a park and dedicate it to this lord of the deer. Which heritage site in India are we talking about? So this heritage site is somehow connected to the story which we are talking about. So think about Varanasi, think about our heritage site, and try to translate the highlighted parts in the question into Hindi or Sanskrit. You'll have the answer. That was question number 17. Moving on to question number 18.
Question number 18. This is a question on an art form. The Mer community has a proverb which means even if somebody is deprived of everything in the world, nobody can take away their blank. The Mundas, Santals, Gonds, and Apatanis are some of the indigenous tribes in India still practicing this art form. Some millennials are trying to revive this quickly disappearing art form with a modern touch, with a contemporary touch. You can find some of the handles on Instagram dedicated to this effort called Tribing. There is Tender Pokes, which are all dedicated to this particular art form. Which art form are we talking about? With a tribal connection. So it is practiced everywhere in India, in all parts of India. It's known by different names. In southern India, it's called Hache in Karnataka, Pachai Kutu in Tamil Nadu, various other names across parts of India. So which art form? Here is the next question.
Question number 19. Now you'll see a video on the screen, a video of a song from a 1963 movie called Tere Ghar Ke Samne featuring Devanand and Nutan. The question is simply tell us where was this shot? Where was this song shot? We'll show you some part of the song. Just tell us where was this song shot.
दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे। दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे।
So here is the final question for the day, question number 20. Type 2A diamonds are the rarest kind of gems found in the world with close to zero impurities. Basically, this is a purity measure, and some of the most famous diamonds in the world belong to this category. One of them being the white diamond that Elizabeth Taylor wore on a daily basis. So that was a type 2A diamond. These diamonds are also generically referred to after which heritage site in India? I think we have enough hints in the question. So we are talking about diamonds and a purity measure which is named after a heritage site in India. So just give me the name of this heritage site. That's your final question for the day. So the time for you to submit your answers starts now. You need to submit your answers in the next 60 seconds. Please remember the answers for this quiz will be revealed in a live session at 11:45 on our YouTube channel. You can simply scroll down this page where you can find the link to the YouTube channel. So 11:45 will be revealing the answers. Over to you, Vishnu.
Thank you for taking the quiz. Please subscribe to the TackOn YouTube channel. You can find the link below and just wait for the answers. All of you can come there and comment your answers in the comment section. It will be an interactive session. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, one and all.